Right, good morning. All right, so we're gonna dial it back a little bit. We're back in our own home territory, I guess. Today we're up at Cedar Glades. Just gonna go on a little bit of a chill ride for a couple of hours, and while we're out here, I thought I would go over some of the things that I like to take with me when I go out on these rides. One item in particular is non-negotiable, and I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to talk about it, and then we're going to strap our stuff on. We're going to go for a ride, and we're going to talk about it. So let's strap our stuff on, and let's see if we can't make today's ride beyond the last ride. All right, so what I like to take with me to begin with, helmet, of course, duh, that should go without saying. There's also going to be a story coming up pretty soon over about something that happened to me once upon a time, even though I was wearing a helmet. That's another story for another time, though. Camelback. So in the Camelback is water, duh, not beer, but water. Top flap, you're going to find some just some basic first aid stuff in case a good boo-boo happens. I've got a small tire pump in there, and yeah, it's basic first aid and tire repair. In the bottom packet, I've got food, a tire repair kit, another tire repair kit just in case I need it. I keep my phone, truck key, and also I like to keep some sort of identification in there just in case the worst happens and I actually end up not responsive and somebody finds me, and so I've got some way of being identified. So that's just something I like to do. GoPro harness, because that's kind of necessary to make these videos. My biking shoes, you've seen these bright orange suckers probably in previous videos. The orange color is actually kind of nice during this time of year. Knee pads are a sometimes thing. These are actually going to get replaced here pretty soon because they're kind of starting to get stretched out. But I don't wear these on every ride. In fact, I probably won't even wear those on today's ride. But the one thing that is absolutely non-negotiable at all, gloves. I religiously wear gloves. I am not religious about much of anything at all, but gloves are, that's the one thing I am. And there is a particular reason why. There is a specific reason why I'm so anal retentive about gloves. I do not get caught dead on a bike without them, and that's what today's video is all about. That's the heart of it. We're going to go for a ride, and we're going to tell you that story, why I'm so anal retentive about gloves. Before we actually get started, though, since we're at Cedar Glades today, for the benefit of one or two local viewers that have never actually been up here before, that have asked questions about it, I kind of wanted to give a quick tour of what the trailhead has to offer. So this is where we're parked. Up here you've got the restrooms, big old picnic pavilion up there on the at the top of that hill. Down on the other side of it, there is a amphitheater for certain shows, concerts. I've never actually seen one happen there, but it's there. I'm pretty sure that gets a lot of use in upcoming events like Good Run, which is coming up next month. Up here we've got kind of a fairly new jump track that was put in here just, I believe it was a couple of years ago. Competitions and other events happen over here. There's also another pump track slash jump track off that way towards the parking lot. Down over here we have a just a little bit of a feature course, a little bit of a pump track thing going on. A couple of wooden features, and then off right behind it there's actually a remote RC vehicle racing course that gets used every once in a while. Off that way there's a RC flying course for drones, remote control planes, that kind of stuff. In fact, it looks like somebody's flying a kite out there, which is really cool. I haven't seen a kite in a long time. Today, with as breezy as it is, today's actually a really good day to fly a kite. But that's off over there. It's a massive clearing about the size of 2 football fields. perfect for drones and other RC flying vehicles. And up that way, I'm not gonna walk all the way up there, and you can't see it from here, but there's actually a rock climbing feature just behind those trees. Actually, no, it's that way because I can kind of see it from where I'm at, but you probably can't see it on the video. It's a rock climbing feature. It is fenced off though. You got to call a number to actually reserve it, but actually to get the reservation, you got to bring 9 of your closest friends with you. But that's there. I've never seen it actually used, but it is kind of cool nonetheless. All right, so why am I such a, I don't know, an anal retentive about wearing gloves? Well, here's the story. So sometime back, I told you another story about how I got into mountain biking and the way that all went down. Quick recap on it. Made a new friend, guy named Sven, fellow service member. He invited me out on a biking trip. Never been on one before. So I figured, what the hell? And I went ahead and went. Despite only having just a little beat around bike that I brought back with me from Kosovo. And we had such a good time that the whole experience stuck with me for like decades, right? Enough to where I wanted to keep mountain biking for years to come. I don't think I mentioned before what kind of gear I was wearing at the time. At the time, since I had never done it before, I only brought with me what I could piece together, right? There was a real thick hoodie. I mean, it was a colder day. So I brought a thick hoodie and a pair of Army PT jogging pants. There were those black, real thick, real loose fitting, almost jogging pants. They're great for doing exercise in, like running in cold weather. Not so great for mountain biking. That's all right, I still wore them anyway. And brought a Camelback with me even then. I knew to do that. It was one of those big old thick assault pack looking Camelbacks. Still served the purpose, as Sven liked to say. And the helmet I was wearing was, it amounted to nothing more than a styrofoam bowl on my head, as helmets tended to be back then. But even through all that, I didn't think to put anything on my hands. And boy, would I actually live to regret it on that trip. So there we are on this ride, right? We're having a grand old time. And I'm slowly just getting hooked on mountain biking the whole time. I'm loving it. But like I kept saying, I didn't think to put anything on my hands because it was a fun ride right up until it wasn't. There towards the end. So towards the end of the ride, the grand finale was kind of this nice big old long descent. And at the top of it, Sven was good enough to stop the ride and kind of fill me in on what the trail was going to do, which is the decent thing to do. So listened to his instructions and away we went. And he was a good, I don't know, 50 yards ahead of me, I think. So I was kind of watching what he was doing, just kind of hanging back behind him. And towards the end of the trail, at the bottom of it, it dumped out on this asphalt cul-de-sac in sort of a upper class neighborhood there on a hill in northern Schweinfurt, in the north of Schweinfurt. So I watch him and he catches air over this sidewalk, right? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, that looks like fun. I want to do that. So I pick up a little bit of speed to follow him down. I get to the lip of the trail that goes over the sidewalk and I catch my air. Well, I don't quite know what happened after that. Well, yeah, I do. I just don't know why it happened. The bike somehow got out from underneath me and I ended up in a perfect Superman position, except the biggest difference that day between me and Superman, well, besides the strength and the other powers, was the fact that Superman can fly. I can't. Down I went on the asphalt. Ka-smack. Slid probably a good, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 feet maybe. Just enough to put a big old chunk of road rash down on my down the side of my my left hip, and on the palms of my hands, right about here and right about here, the skin was completely gone. A good, I would say, 2.5, 3 inches of it, just gone. So I get up, I pick myself up, I assess the damage. Sven is just laughing his butt off at me, right? And I look down at my hands and I said, oh, the skin off the meat of both of my palms is gone. Dear me, what now? Because guess what else we forgot to bring with us? Any sort of first aid stuff. Yeah, neither one of us thought to bring any of that. So, and we still had a little bit of riding left. I mean, it was towards the end of it, but we still had to make our way back to the parking lot of my apartment complex, because that's where we staged up. So, get back on the bike, I shake it off, and no gloves, no first aid, and we still had a good, I don't know, probably a half hour to go before we made it back to the base. Well, you might be familiar with you know, the concept of blood and what it does, especially after it starts you know, congealing, starts getting a little sticky, you know, a little adhesive like. So not only did I get the joyous experience of, you know, scraping the skin off of both of my palms, not to mention that big old chunk of road rash down my left hip, I get to glue my my palms to my own handlebars with my own blood. Fun times. So we get back to the base, I peel my hands off the handlebars, we go upstairs, start getting myself wrapped up. Both of my hands, both of them, wrapped up like mummies, probably for a good 2 weeks. And yeah, I may or may not have gotten in a little bit of trouble. After that, well, obviously, moral of the story is I absolutely will not be caught dead on a bike without gloves. Okay, so I think I found a new spot that I'm kind of in love with. I've been here before. I just don't remember the water being up quite this high. Of course, normally I'm through here during the summertime and the water isn't quite up this high. And there's something over there that I'm hearing that I think I'm gonna have to find for somebody. Just a little bit of rapids over there. I thought it might have been a waterfall, which I know a certain someone who would have loved to have seen that. She would love to see this anyway. So, Michelle, a little bit of footage just for you, hon. So let me go ahead and finish this story before we get back on the trail. I've got to figure out another way to do this, because sometimes talking and telling stories is a little bit difficult when you're trying to actually, you know, concentrate on a trail. So you got the basic gist of the story, why I wear these. I won't ever not wear them. I don't care if it's pedaling around the front of the house, you know, around the neighborhood on our e-bikes with Michelle. These will be on because of that that incident that happened clear back in I think it had to have been early 2003. So Sven did mention shortly after that, when he realized that I was getting hooked on mountain biking, that it's usually an incident like that, a good accident like that, that causes people to actually get hooked on the sport, on the activity. I don't know if there's actually any truth to that. If there's another rider out there that's been doing this for a while, please either argue with it or confirm it, agree with them or disagree with them. I don't know, because personally, I don't think it was the instance of getting the skin scraped off of my hand that's what got me hooked onto this, but more so the experience of being out there on the trails and the fun that we had that got me hooked and kept me wanting to do this for, well, it's It's been 22 years now, I think, if I'm doing my math right. So that's pretty much the story about why I'm so anal retentive about wearing these. Out of all the things that you should probably bring with you, minus of course maybe a helmet, although there is a story coming up over an incident with me, even though I was wearing a full face helmet at the time. Gloves though, gotta have them. I don't care what kind of a ride it's on, how long I'm gonna be riding, any of that. There's also a couple of other adventures coming up. Michelle and I have planned. We've got a Mount Nebo trip planned. We've got a trip planned for Eureka Springs. And there's another excursion right in Little Rock that we actually want to do pretty soon that we're looking forward to doing. So stay tuned for all of that. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this story and enjoyed this ride that we went on today. I sure enjoyed telling it. And by all means, let me know that you were here. Leave me a like or leave me a dislike even if you want to, if that's kind of your thing, if you didn't like it. One way or the other, just let me know you were here. Thanks again for helping me make today's ride go beyond the last ride. And I really hope to see you again on the next one. Till next time.